Father Olfactory is in his car. I got some folks from his church he needs to visit, run an errand or two, and Sarah is walking down the street, and she hears Father Olfactory cussing up a storm in a very priestly way. Those Chinese devils this, those Chinese devils that. And when Susan gets up to Father Olfactory and his car, he's a turning it over, and it's a turning over, but it's not starting. He gets out of that car and is still cussing out. Yes, those Chinese. Oh, I do that a lot myself. And as Sarah says, Father Olfactory, calm down. What if some children were to hear? And Father Olfactory, he looks around and he says, well, they've got to learn how to start their Chinese cars sometime. And he gets back in, and sure enough, it turns over, starts up on that first crank. Oh, you can hear me talking about the Great Wall of Evil that has just me and all of my imagery. And remember, if you take exception to that, I made a lot of those yesterday. My wheelchair, 1 year old. And a couple of bolts came off of the left wheel. Every night now, it is a battle to get the damn computer to work. There was people walking among us. If you take exception to me referring to them, the Chinese, as that, by all means, call me up. Oh, you can write me a letter too. Make a video of it first. It's going to be stolen. I'd just like a call. Yeah, about the devil's people are walking among us, those Chinese devils. The ones with the Chinese balls that placed a cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Hussein. Of course, we don't go by names or the fact that Hussein grew up in Africa to be closer to his dad, Osama. Yeah, Osama bin Laden, that's what the Osama rumors about. That Barack Hussein Obama is Osama bin Laden's son. I haven't had one comment by phone, mail, internet about that rumor, and I put two photos, one of Osama, one of Barack, side by side. And yeah, look right there at the eyes. And please, don't be a hater. They're mixing stuff up all over the place. But back to my Chinese balls talk. They also taunted in a very bizarre way, and I'll have to see what the background looks like now. Designed a custom background. Nice light blue. The devil's people walking among us with a whole lot of high-tech toys. Wow, some of it's this red. My wheels here. The loner. Where was I? Yeah. They changed the background. I went to look. I was going to put it in my, I made the last 10 Tommy slideshow parables. And I was going to put it in, but it was moved down a little lighter. It's still not as light as what I designed. But I'll have to look, see what it is today. Because I had prepared everything yesterday, the 3rd. That'd be the distraction for the Yellow Devils by Spectrum. Remember, they've got their 5 taking post and 5 in front of Spectrum, as well as Walmart, as well as Spectrum, as well as the Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, the ones casing our neighborhoods all across America under the guise of spreading their religion. Those looking for a little old lady to talk out of their life savings. But yeah, big 5s, they got Spectrum, they got in front of ones have Spectrum, and that's probably the one I've got in this set that says Mormons. Yeah, right here. Mormons of Latter-day Saints, wallpaper your neighborhood with these 5s. Tell everyone in your neighborhood to 911 Flight 93 check-in post in 5. In front of these folks when they show up on your doorstep. Get them to write you off their sales route by having everyone in the neighborhood do that. I make videos of my call logs, guys. And yeah, some of you out there, all cops of the police station's phone, all firemen of the fire station's phone, soldiers of the military bases phone across America and beyond. I know some of you out there can get those call records yourself, but I've got a video of my call log. Oh, a couple months ago, was it? 3 months? For the past 2 years. If you tried to call me in that time span, look on that youtube.com/Melton for youtube.com/Melton. Oh, there I go down. Melton for Imagery is my YouTube, the number 4, the digit 4. Melton for Imagery is my YouTube I need to get back to because I got another month or 2 of those parable bites joined together, the chest imagery joined together. But youtube.com/DNFD series. That's where I got the call log playlist. I got my Tommies there. These morning ones as well. That's where I've been posting my lately. Check out that call log video. You look for the little red phone in one of those videos from before I ended up in the hospital in 2014, 80 pounds lighter with those stigmata wounds. Anyway, I've got to get going. It's 9 minutes. Red phone has the missionaries, the Latter-day Saint missionaries on it. Ask them, how do you reach him by phone? You're obviously taking part in religious censorship with Melton, John Milton Brady. He's it's not just his graphic art livelihood that's being hijacked here. It's his real work of building Jesus' Immaculate House. You can reach him by phone to taunt him about that. How do you do that? Why do you do that? But how do you do that? When else would my phone not be allowed to work because of what you're taking part in? Yes, the cowardly Hussein plays it. They were part of that sham election. That first one, I believe, when they placed the Cowardly Hussein, remember the rich Mormon Romney was a part of that? What do you know about this? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? Get their reaction? This is me trying to call this man. How do you reach him? Yeah, you get him to write you off the sales route. Now back to what I was working on before Spectrum distracted for the great Chinese yellow shit. Excuse my language. I gotta call it like I see it. Needs to be flushed. Change that background. It's a nice background. There's also a lot of these photos. Not necessarily this one, but it is darker. I got a Spring Street 1, Spring and 4th, I believe. Skyline 1 that they almost blacked out altogether. They like to see the imagery darker than what I designed it. They're making it incredibly personal, butchering my children in front of me. Very taunting and a very Lori demon from Hell Devil. Yesterday, with all of those photos, I didn't even upload to print out. It was this color. Maybe even a little closer to that color. When I looked, because I wanted to put it in the slideshow things, it was a lighter blue. It's still not what I wanted, not what I designed. Oh, here's the ad from 2013. It prints out, it's what you see on the refrigerator over there, but the words cover that up and it's darker. I guess some folks might have altered it to cover up the nice reflection there. So you can see the palms there, that's the same one. I did a whole bunch of them with different fonts. Back when I was working on these, let me see if I can keep these separate so I can use them for illustration purposes. It's 13 minutes. I better do my sugar check and tell you about how personal it is between me and the devil's people. These are my children, they're butchering with the dark outline and the darkening of the images, not just one. I've taken to where I don't adjust with the color enhancements, sharper colors, and deepen or lighten or darken. I don't do that at all, and it's still going on. So if you see something that's a little darker, remember it wasn't that way when I designed it. Now this one's supposed to be dark. It wasn't that way when I designed it. The devil's people were walking among us, the yellow shit that butchered butchered a lot of my children, is getting their just desserts with me in truth. Now, yeah, they got the great wall of evil around me. So I don't have a family. Oh, I can call it the streets, the unseen business, if that means anything to you. Oh, I can even get into how did I phrase it? Did I phrase it that way? The Seinfeld's New Street Girlfriend effect. Where you make some contacts with some hot folks, hot blondes, and you make a few videos, have those angels sing and pull ecstasy out of the light, and then all of a sudden either something happens that they need to move halfway around the country or the world, Or, yeah, that new unseen business girlfriend. Oh, we need to get that working in the opposite direction when you come see me. Tear down the great wall of evil has just me in this imagery that the devil's people are butchering my children. And let's get started building a better world. Now back to what the devil's people. You see, that's true every day. That bed in there is empty with just me in it since March 1st last year. Same at the Weingart Center and the assisted living waiver devil place, Lauriewood. The convalescent hospital from hell for a year and a half. Then before that, the hospital and 6 blocks east, and of course in Hussein's Little Arabia. Yeah, the great wall of evil around me, so I can't get started with my work or having children other than my artwork here were the devils of the Chinese. Devil Chinese made it very personal. So yeah, that is why it's personal, but it's true. Look for those trillion tails. Oh, they got 1 billion in China just with the stage alone. Plus there's all kinds of other Oriental countries. Look for those trillion tales of the devils of the Orient. Pass along those stories you might find that are particularly exemplary of the devil's people's character. Oh, them doing the most horrendous of things, perhaps. It's my street pics and I can have a little fun. Doing the most horrendous of things, whatever you might envision the streets being horrendous with, and then just stepping into those shoes of that mom and pop, Oriental mom and pop store folks, and innocent as can be. That's the Oriental PR campaign. If you think I'm out of line with this, you pick up that phone. You tell me what's wrong. Why am I wrong about the Chinese? And you're going to see devil's people walking among us with Chinese balls that can place cowardly Hussein in the White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. Oh, see my contact here. Think your contact. That's my Gates livelihood. Yours. I could drive folks into your business. You handing this out as a business card. Won't fit in the wallet, but you can get the 4 to 4x6 print to do that with. This is my Gates livelihood. You can't call me up when you're calling up countless other customers to get that boring thing, phone ringing, error message, busy signal. You can't reach this handsome man right here to have him design an image to drive folks into your business. You don't know how many other folks who can benefit your business that you can't reach by phone. That's the Chinese balls, that place that cowardly Hussein in our White House currently has. That buffoon Russian guy, but I don't like him either. Very buffoonish and arrogant, from what I've seen. But he's comic relief compared to placing Hussein in there. If you were calling up a decade ago to tell everyone, whatever you do, don't vote for this cowardly Hussein, tell everybody about trying to pull a fast one. They're putting a Muslim guy. They don't name them Hussein guys unless they're Muslim. They're putting a cowardly Hussein in our White House at that strategic point in time right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. You were calling up to tell folks that and you're getting a lot of phone ringing, error message, busy signal. Well, that's why. Devil's people. Pick up your phone right now. See the devil's people. The yellow shit. Realize I'm talking to a lot of different audiences. And, yeah, a lot of them have seen, I'm the nicest guy you're going to meet. And I describe them as that because they have shown me to be that. The devils from the Orient. Has nothing to do with, their half-closed eyes, their yellow skin. It's a yellow soul. They're black and dark and yellow hearts, yellow souls. You think I'm wrong? Pick up that phone. Oh, try to come to see me, you'll find those who are part of the biggest disinformation campaign in history. All those impersonators, a lot of whom made horrendous examples yesterday, Labor Day, as the devil's people walking among us, and cited a little raised voice stuff from me because they butchered my child in front of me. Now, a whole lot of them. I had that background on over 100, I believe. It was a new background. So if you hear me talking about the devil's people, yeah, you can call them Eskimo people if you want. It's up to you. But look for those trillion tales of the devil's people walking the face of the planet. Tear down their evil wall. It's a place in the Cavalry Hussein doing that every country we got on the face of the planet. They're doing something that's of that nature. Tear it down. Put someone besides me here, and let's get started building a better world. Now, Amanda is frantic. She says, I've been calling for an hour. They're listening to this is my fun fiction. Well, not fun fiction, but it's my fiction. To illustrate a point about you not reaching me and not knowing when else your phone won't be allowed to work because of those damn Chinese devils and their cowardly balls up steel. Some folks are listening to that tape. And Amanda is frantic. She says she's been calling for an hour, just hasn't been able to get through. The Chinese balls. And the fire has gotten worse and worse. They can't get downstairs, haven't been able to. 188. And as they listen in, as she gets more and more frantic, they're trying to calm her, tell her they're on the way. The floor is collapsing. Her young children are dying. She's about to go through the floor with the youngest in her arms. And Amanda says, last thing on that tape, everything Stone Cold Melton, one and only, says about the yellow shit, yellow devils is absolutely true. And it is. Look for those 1,000 tales of the devils of the Orient. That's a stigmata wound there, genetic carpentry at work. It's from the inside. It's about genetics. Oh, I don't like to talk about that, but it has that kind of a effect that goes out. One time I took a photo, I don't know if it's still there, but had 3 all the way out to like the small wound on the pelvis. That kind of looks like a someone from the Orient. You know, with the effect of the little, I don't know if you call it a puff or just star effect. Yeah, it looks like an asshole. That's why I call it. Aside from down here, this is a started as a round one and then morphed into that, if you can see it. The bite mark, it's genetic, it's from the inside. If you know what's going on with that, come tell me. Oh, if you know what I mean by the streets, you're going to see a whole lot of folks from the streets, the unseen business, whatever it is, you call it, put it in your own vernacular, get your videos out there. You're going to see a lot of them. Oh, nothing more than you've seen in your own neck of the woods, just a whole lot more of it. No joke with the eyes or the 93 checks, but tell that joke you got perfect just once, get it on video. Never have to tell it again. Goes for the serious stuff, what you believe in. Put it on video. got it on your phone, you got it on your YouTube, you got it on your computer. Never have to tell it again. Now this here is what I just showed you over there, and you see it's a little darker. And I guess you can still see the palms there. That's from March 2013. This is about a year later before I ended up in the hospital, I think. And it's, you know, the blue's getting bigger, growing in through and around. You're not going to see that brown circle when I show you. And it's 25 minutes. I'm going to have to end it quick. After I show you my eyes. If you know what's going on with these, come tell me. Oh, it can be all whitish around it, not brown at all, like it is out, fanned out a little bit. Since I've been taking my vitamins about a year now, they really light up. And yes, the outer circle's gone, smaller, browner circles inside gone, outer brown circle's gone. The blue eyes growing in through and around with the inside. Oh, it's kind of rough riding this thing, but I'm getting the hang of it. Got my other wheelchair, yes, those coincidences, butchering my artwork around 9/11. The Hatred anniversary always seems to have a lot of the yellow shit character showing up about that time of year. And now butchering my children. It's a little better. I tried to redesign last night, but the program, the screen was being altered. It's the devil's people. Being as obvious and taunting and that very Lori devil bitch from hell, person laughing back from Louisiana way. Come see me in person. When the devil's people hijack your call, tear down the great wall of evil that has just me and all my imagery. Let's get started on those 1,000 points of light. You can call it Opportunity House. Opportunity for a whole lot of folks all over the world. I have to tell you, it's Jesus' Immaculate House, though, because it's, you know, in the fine print, and yeah, there will be a test at the end. I hear it's pass, fail, or purgatory. I guess you can guess where the yellow hatred that's been butchering my children, my artwork lately, and has been in the way of me building Jesus' Immaculate House. I guess you can guess where they're going.